are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo with the latest news from here at home and across the world on Primetime News. A very good evening. I'm Mahina Bongzo.
A very good evening to all our viewers. I'm Joel Outskun. Let's take a look at our headlines for this evening.
President to take stern action against drug rackets in Operation Close to Schools. Court issues 2 injunctions against the joint opposition rally. SLFP chief ministers announced that they won't attend the joint opposition rally tomorrow. Strike action by university non-academic staff hampers academic activities. 7-year-old girl mauled to death by wild elephant in Tanamal Villa. Residents demonstrate demanding the elephants be driven away. Lasantha Vikramatunga's driver identifies Army intelligence officer as his abductor.
In your top story this evening, President Maithripala Sirisena says special attention has been drawn towards the prevention of selling illicit drugs near school. He made these statements when he participated in the annual prize-giving ceremony of the Katalua Central College in Galle today.
President Sirisena declared open the newly built technology lab of the Katalua Central College. The President also laid the foundation stone for a new sports complex. He presented prizes and certificates to the students who demonstrated exceptional skills in the school. Because of the social anomalies, the drug peddlers have cast aside respect for humanity and are engaging in this trade. This is a serious social challenge. This is a challenge to many countries and not only Sri Lanka. It is sad to note that in Sri Lanka, many places that sell these drugs are located in close proximity to schools. All they seek is money. They have no love for the children or the people. They have no love for the nation. Drugs that we have never seen before enter the markets and they deceive the children by selling it to them. This situation was evident before and now it is evident again. That is why, together with the Ministry of Education and all other institutions, I have put forward a national program to prevent and eradicate drugs.
Welcome back. Police said that 2 injunctions have been issued against the march organized by the joint opposition, expected to commence tomorrow.
The organizers of the march were granted permission by Kandy Chief Magistrate Buddhika Sivagala to only partake in religious observances at the temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. Police also informed court that the United National Party has also planned to hold a party membership promotion campaign tomorrow. Taking facts into consideration, the magistrate ordered for the campaign to commence after 2 p.m. tomorrow. Police also requested permission from court to prevent the march of the joint opposition from taking place. Police added that since the United National Party had also organized a promotion campaign, there is a possibility of an altercation taking place between the 2 factions. The Mavanalla magistrate ordered the police to direct both factions onto separate routes to ensure that there is no altercation. The injunctions were issued to joint opposition MPs Mahindananda Alutgamage, Kehele Rambukwella, Dilum Amunugama and Lohan Ratwata.
Here are some of the views expressed in Kandy this afternoon by representatives of the joint opposition.
We respect the courts. The moment we get the court order to our hands, we will act accordingly. Moreover, the organizing committee has decided to proceed with the rally as planned. We very clearly accept any decision given by court. But there is an issue here. I think we may all have to read the court's injunction order correctly, because the order has named 4 of us in its injunction preventing us from taking part in this rally within the limits of the urban area. However, there is no mention of the entire program.
Let's now take a look at how the ruling party responded to the rally, which is scheduled to be held tomorrow.
Why are they engaging in Padayatras? Is it to feed the people? No, to feed themselves. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party lost because of what they did in the past. Even though they ramble on, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has lost 2 elections. Yoshitha hands over a bag of gems to his auntie Daisy. The bag of gems are sold to a trader and suddenly the auntie becomes several millions of rupees richer and also receives 14 other plots of land. Now since the rogues are being captured, the rogues are screaming. Aunt Daisy should be brought to lead this rally of rogues. Alibaba and his Padayatra is on course to arouse racism. This is not something which is being said by us. It is being said by the Sri Lanka Communist Party. So there is no night or day. Gaman Pilla is going. Vimal from Tumullo is going and so is Dinesh.
චක්කරේ දිනේෂ් යනවා.
Now the godfathers of this movement are those who split parties. Vimal Veeravangsa, who is spearheading this march, is someone who split the JVP into pieces and caused harm to the party. Gamman Pillai is also one such leader who split a party. So it is no one else who should be blamed for this but Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was the last leader of the party. Even once back then, I marched all the way from Devundara alongside Ranil Wickramasinghe in the United National Party. We walked daily, and once we reached Colombo, there was a crowd of 1 million. But when we went into the election, we lost. So nothing will happen. If at all, they will sweat, become thirsty, get hungry, their legs will ache, and so on and so forth. So there is no issue. They have to do something while in the opposition, don't they?
Addressing a media briefing in Colombo earlier this evening, Chief Ministers of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party announced that they will not attend the rally organised by the joint opposition tomorrow.
Members and officers of the party act according to the decisions reached by the chairman of the party, President Maithripala Sirisena, and the Central Committee of the party. The march is one organised by the joint opposition, and we in the provincial councils have no connection to this march.
Also making the headlines tonight, the driver of the late Lasantha Wickramatunge today identified the army intelligence officer who was arrested in connection to the homicide of journalist Wickramatunge as the individual who abducted him. The suspect was identified when he was produced before the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court today.
A criminal investigations department recently arrested the Sri Lanka Army Sergeant Major in connection to the homicide of journalist Lasantha Wickramatunge. The suspect was escorted to the Mount Lavinia Magistrate Court today to be produced before an identification parade. The driver of Wickramatunge was abducted days after the murder, and today the driver identified the arrested Sergeant Major as the abductor. IP Nishantha Silva, who represented the Criminal Investigations Department, clearly noted that this was a premeditated crime and called for swift investigations on the crime. An eyewitness who was also present at the time of the murder is to be produced in court on the next date. The magistrate granted permission for this suspect to be once again subjected to an identification parade. The suspect had looked at this individual through the helmet that he was wearing. Therefore, in order to identify the suspect, the case will be postponed to the 3rd of August. President of the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, Gamana Vijayaratne, filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka, citing that the police is not acting to minimize the traffic congestion on roads. The Lanka Private Bus Owners Association alleges that due to the traffic congestion in urban areas, buses are compelled to cut down the number of trips and are compelled to incur massive losses.
The industry faced many situations of inequality. Large-scale protests that cause vehicular congestion take place all the time. Over the past 18 months, the industry had suffered a loss of 110 billion rupees. We lodged complaints with the police on multiple occasions. However, they have not responded to our complaints. That is why we decided to lodge a complaint against the IGP, the DIG in charge of traffic, as well as the DIG in charge of Colombo.
Newsfirst today questioned Gamana Vijayaratne over the behavior of a private bus driver, which has been captured on video and has gone viral on social media. You are here at the Human Rights Commission to lodge a complaint against the IGP and the Sri Lanka police over the injustice caused to bus drivers. Give us a comment after having a look at this video.
If such actions are taking place, they need to be punished. We will intervene to ensure that their licenses are terminated. We can also conduct an investigation to suspend the services of the bus drivers.
Later, the president of the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association contacted the National Transport Commission and informed them about the incident.
The drawings you just witnessed are ones that belongs to Hassani Shehara, a grade 3 student of the Balaharua Junior School.
That's right. Today, Hasini Shehra is just a memory, and she became another victim of the human-elephant conflict. This little girl breathed her final today when she was on her way to school with her grandfather. The little girl had met her father early this morning after a lapse of 3 months. Hasini Shehra's father serves in the army and had arrived home just this morning. With a heart full of dreams, she was to celebrate her birthday on the 4th of next month and was excited to move into a new home with her family. However, all those dreams have now been shattered, and it will be her motionless body that will be brought to the new house. This is not the first fatality reported from the Balaharo village. Hasini is the 5th person to fall victim to a wild elephant in a span of 2 months. Friends of Hasini Shehra stepped to the streets today, demanding for solutions to the human-elephant conflict. The grief-stricken villagers protested at the Kudaoe junction by obstructing the Vallavaya Colombo main road, also demanding a solution for the human-elephant conflict. Vehicular movement along the road was disrupted for more than 7 hours. They charged that a responsible official should intervene to provide a permanent solution to the problem.
The daily activities of 14 universities were disrupted today due to a strike action launched by the university non-academic staff members. The University Trade Union Joint Committee says that over 13,000 of its members are engaged in this trade union action. However, this trade union action has not affected activities of the Uva Vellassa University.
The non-academic staff of universities are taking part in the strike action, citing 7 demands.
Our demands include a raise in the monthly compensation allowance, its addition to the EPF and ETF, reinstating the language proficiency allowance, and a streamlined pension to be introduced. We had several rounds of discussions with the Minister of Higher Education and the University Grants Commission. There is no clear decision on the result of those discussions.
Academic as well as research activities of all 9 faculties at the University of Peradeniya came to a standstill today due to the protest. However, the non-academic staff extended their assistance to feed the farm animals, provide voluntary security and conduct activities of the international conference taking place within the university premises. The protesting non-academic staff members marched from the University of Peradeniya to the Galaha Junction.
This is a moment showing our strength. If our demands are not met, this action will continue. The government administration and the UGC must be held accountable to the harm caused to the students.
Non-academic staff at the University of Ruhuna also supported this action. Activities across all 7 faculties at the University of Ruhuna came to a standstill due to the strike action, and a demonstration took place opposite the university, obstructing the Thangol Mathura main road. Operations of all 7 faculties at the University of Colombo were also disrupted by the strike action.
The examination for today was postponed. This has an impact on the final year. We are from the management faculty and we have our final exams.
The non-academic staff at the Jaffna and Southeastern universities also supported the cause by engaging in demonstrations.
At the weekly cabinet briefing held today, it was revealed that measures are underway to establish an independent commission on mass media. Every person is governed by a certain law. How can the journalists remain as the only persons who are not governed in this manner? We wanted to take action in this regard. It was the Prime Minister who suggested that this action be taken through a new media commission. We are hoping to establish an independent commission on mass media. There is a need to establish rules and regulations on that. We have already taken our first few steps. We are currently preparing the basic concepts under the guidance of Vijayananda Jayavira. They are independent individuals. We will not enforce anything forcefully. We asked for everyone's opinion when the Right to Information Act was being prepared. We did that because we wanted to do it in the right way. Media organizations, journalists and the public can contribute their own ideas towards the new media commission.
The Criminal Investigation Department says that it has directed files pertaining to the case against Thissa Attanayaka for publicising forged documents to the Attorney General for the future course of action. The case on the matter was taken up today before the Colombo Fort Magistrate.
The case filed against this Sathanayaka for creating forged documents citing that Ranil Wickremesinghe had reached an agreement with the Tamil National Alliance and publicising them to the media. I have been invited by political parties to engage in their political programs. There have been many requests from the UMP at the grassroots and mid-level. The relationship with them is such that I hold discussions with them and they put forward their ideas and requests. However, I have not reached any political decision. One of the priorities of the present government is to ensure that the country is self-sufficient in renewable energy.
Attending the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris 2015, President Maithripala Sirisena stressed on the importance of moving towards renewable energy. The President called for all nations to take a stand on minimizing greenhouse emissions. The accord reached by world leaders was named COP21 and is aimed at keeping global warming below 2 degrees Celsius.
The President has given instructions to the Ministry of Power and Renewable Energy and the government to come up with an appropriate plan to generate energy from renewable energy and indigenous resources. Ministry of Power and Energy is currently engaged with formulating energy policy. The measures have been taken and the readjusting the future plans, it's happening currently, and there's a major emphasis towards enhancing the capability of the consumers to become energy producers in the future.
This was a scene that we saw today from the Vallo village in Chilao.
Well, right. This is the manner in which fishermen express their joy over the fulfillment of a request they have been making for years.
Their wishes were made a reality as part of yet another project of the Gammadda 100-Day Initiative.
The Gammadda 100-Day Initiative. With the people, for the people.
Day 8. The estuary located in the Valla area in Chilao, a coastal region from which nearly 5,000 fishing vessels set sail to the deep blue sea, had become a death trap for fishermen at night. Several fishing vessels have been destroyed and around 10 lives lost due to the poor visibility of the reefs close to the estuary at night. What was needed as a solution to this fatal issue was a lamppost. Newsfirst took the first step to provide what was required for the safety of these fishermen. The initiative was undertaken with the assistance of Kevilton Electrical Products Private Limited, a subsidiary of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited.
I never thought that the Sirasa Media Network would be this quick to provide us this solution through such a massive program. The fishing community was severely inconvenienced due to the absence of such a facility. We extend our gratitude to the Gammadda program and the Sirasa Media Network for providing us this lamppost. If you look from the perspective of the fishermen in Valla Chilao, the Sirasa Media Network is carrying out a highly meritorious deeds. 2 lives were lost just recently due to the absence of a lamppost. We thank Sirasa for providing us with a solution to this.
The people of Patalayagama, Hambantota also wait anxiously in need of similar assistance. Even though this electric fence has been set up close to the village for the purpose of preventing wild elephants encroaching their villages, the purpose is not fulfilled. The fence has been erected for the protection of 2,000 acres of paddy land and around 1,200 acres of farmland. However, as this so-called electric fence is merely a fence, farmers are left helpless as they are forced to watch their crops become elephant food.
Look at the state of this banana tree. It costs around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees to get a banana tree to this level. We do not have the support of anyone.
Speaking at an event held at the Ministry of Finance this morning, Subject Minister Ravi Karnanayaka laid out the government's economic plans for the future.
I, as the Minister of Finance, would call upon one thing. We are basically at this moment transgressing through some difficult times. And we are ensuring policy statements are there so that the people, there will be consistency, coherency and confidence-making exercise that is coming in. And we want you as a bank to help us to steer clear and ensure that we are able to get to a better tomorrow. We like to see exchange rates appreciating, we like to see interest rates coming down. It's a twin objective that is difficult to attain, but with foreign direct investments coming to the country, with the government taking policy decisions that are more attained and attuned to development in this robust Asian area, we are sure that we'll be able to steer clear this to a better tomorrow.
A seminar on recent global and national developments in anti-money laundering and the financing of terrorism was held in Colombo this evening. Newsfirst was the official electronic media partner for the seminar.
The seminar focused on the new issues and challenges that have been identified in different countries with regard to the drive against money laundering and the financing of terrorism. The panel included eminent individuals in the field of law and finance such as Asoka De Silva, the former Chief Justice, Additional Solicitor General, President's Counsel Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel Kalinga Indathissa and Attorney-at-Law Malik Kader, the former Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. President's Counsel Dr. Dayanath Jayasuriya, delivering the keynote address, spoke on the new regulations that are in place to stop money laundering at an institutional level.
You need to revisit your internal control systems, policies, procedures and manuals, and to see to what extent those are compatible with the new requirements. And then you need to appoint relevant personnel. In some institutions, the compliance officer is not part of the senior management. Thirdly, you need to develop effective and balanced policies with monitoring systems. The anti-money laundering legislation is to ensure that the financial system is kept clean, but it is not meant to stifle finance business.
The electoral reform debate in Sri Lanka took place yesterday. The event was organised by the Bar Association of Sri Lanka together with Transparency International of Sri Lanka and the European Union in Sri Lanka.
The event saw the participation of intellectuals and experts in the fields of law and electoral reform.
So there are various aspects, the pros and the cons, for a coalition government and a one-party parliament. Though we think that a one-party parliament is good for democracy, is it really so? We cannot think that electoral laws are the panacea for all ills. Isn't there something more basic? As he says, declaration of assets, good governance, the behavior of members of parliament, because we have seen, as you say, recently the well of parliament being converted into a boxing ring. We have also seen the well of parliament being used as virtually a residence for the night with all sorts of colourful clothing. So, in other words, how do we ensure the best of people are elected? So, these are some of the aspects that we'll have to really consider more basic than mere electoral reforms. And maybe also the question of accountability of members and whether we need to make special provision for women's representation. So these are some of the aspects that we will have to look into. And well, of course, you have the sad spectacle of crossovers and people jumping from one party to another, and you forget whom you voted for and where they are now.
The second and final day of the Strategy Summit 2016 organized by CS Sri Lanka was held this morning amidst the presence of many high-profile business leaders. The event saw the participation of managing directors, country heads, executive directors and other corporate professionals. Sam Dyers, a marketing finance specialist who is sought after by companies for his advice on how to use marketing to create and sustain commercial value, spoke at today's session. The summit provides the necessary platform to help prepare businesses for the corporate warfare ahead. The summit focused on different core elements of business strategy which will create future businesses and how firms could execute those core strategies in competitive environments. Well, the Torch of Hope rally, which aims to create public enthusiasm and generate even more support for our Olympians, reached Avisavela today. The Torch Rally, which is an initiative of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited and Newsfirst, is being supported by the Ministry of Sports, the National Youth Services Council and the Ministry of Education.
On its 14th consecutive day, the Torch of Hope rally commenced its journey from Kurunegala following an inauguration ceremony which saw the participation of Urban Commissioner of Kurunegala, Varuna Samara Divakara, Zonal Education Director General of Kurunegala, Tv01 Podinilame, Assistant Superintendent of Police, W.M. Samarakon, and students representing a number of schools in the area. Junior Commonwealth weightlifting champion Uganda Paul Hengoda and South Asian silver medalist Harshini Vikramasinghe took part in the Torch of Hope rally in Kurunegala today. Javelin throw champion Sumed Ranasinghe, who will be competing at the Rio Olympics, received a rousing reception upon his arrival at his hometown in Kegol. The ceremony was held under the auspices of Assistant District Secretary Saman Anura and Traffic OIC of Kegol, Sarat Jayasekara. Completing its 14th day, the Torch of Hope rally reached its final destination, Avisavella. The Torch of Hope rally was welcomed by Avisavella HQI Duminda Senanayaka upon its arrival.
Well, with that, we wrap up news for tonight. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Joel Outgoing.
And I'm Mahina Bongzo. Good night.
Good night.